Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I am, I'm sad. I am really sad right now, and not for the reason why you probably all think, because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Um, Let me tell you a story. I was in. I've been. I have been truly blessed to have done some really cool things. To have one of my childhood heroes, in fact, my favorite player of all time, to have had the opportunity to drive him to his hotel room, one on one, him sitting right next to me with his first Super Bowl ring on his finger from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And to talk to him for 15 minutes, I literally could have just, boom, dropped the mic of my life and said, I've lived a great life. But I have been truly blessed. I don't know why, with some really cool things. And this was something that was really cool to witness, even though it was not something for me. And that was being in Minneapolis, where my seat was on upper level. Seat was right on the aisleway, right by the steps. And right across from me, on the other side, just about, literally where that desk sits, was a couple that had been season ticket holders for the Eagles since 1973. Now, I didn't want to see the Eagles win. I didn't want to see the Eagles win. Didn't really want to see New England win either. But watching that couple going through the ups and downs of the Super Bowl, the flow of the game, and the way they interacted and stuff, and knowing that they've never had the opportunity to see their team win the Super Bowl. It was actually a beautiful thing to actually see them get that Super Bowl. Now, I'm not mad at the Eagles for doing what they did. They took care of business. Now, I'm sad because the season's over. Good or bad, even this game that we just saw being over with, the season is over with. I'd rather watch bad football than no football at all. And now we've got the long NFL winter until September before we see games again. And that sucks. We are at the precipice of another season. Everybody is 0-0. And the incredible thing about the NFL is half of the teams that made the playoffs this year, on average, won't next year. They won't make it next year. There's always a turnover. Commanders weren't a playoff team last year. Who's to say they're going to be one next year? Cowboys, we were a playoff team last year. We weren't this year. That's the great thing about football. There's opportunities to change the narrative. And you can be that team if you put in the work. You know what's funny is, you got Howie Roseman, who puts in the work. I don't think Howie's got, I mean, I don't know because I'm not an Eagle fan, but I don't think Howie Roseman has 2 shows a week. I don't think Howie Roseman does the talking after the games. Howie Roseman uses every tool available to him to get great talent. Great at trades, great at free agency, and getting better at drafting. We don't use trades much, or when we do, they're bargain bin shopping. They're low risk, very low reward. Usually no reward. Jonathan Mingo in the middle of the season this year? Yeah. Trey Lance? Meh. Jonathan, what's his name, the defensive tackle? Meh. Brandon Cooks, good for one season. And Stephon Gilmore, late in his career, good for one season. The Cowboys are they spend more time trying to convince you that they are doing a great job. Jerry Jones up here telling us this week, I'm a great GM. The people who brag the most or try to convince you that they've got are usually the ones that don't have. You know what I'm saying? If you're good at what you do, people recognize what you do. See, y'all can go through and say, Dak is greedy. Micah, he doesn't stop the run good. Our coach stinks. But when I look at, and it's not rocket science. Tonight, Saquon was not the guy. Kansas City said, we're going to stop Saquon. And see, that's where you realize that's when A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, they earned their money. There were too many weapons for Kansas City to stop. The Eagles didn't rely week after week after week after week on Jalen Hurts having to throw 40 passes to win games. The Eagles didn't rely on their team having to score 30 points every week to win games because they had a defense. And because that Eagles front, that defensive line, was so dominant that they shut down the run for Kansas City. Kansas City couldn't run the ball at all. And because they couldn't run the ball at all, they could turn the Wolves loose to attack Pat Mahomes. And they beat the hell out of him. As Leo says, the goon squad. A bunch of goons came in there and beat the shit out of Kansas City. What you saw there with the Eagles wasn't 2 or 3 really good players. What you saw there was a complete team that's been assembled, not by telling you how good they are at doing their job, but actually going out there and doing their job. It hurts. Not that the Eagles won is not what hurts. What hurts is the fact that we can't compete because of what we're lacking from the Joneses. Now the Cowboys have an opportunity. You got CeeDee Lamb here today who's literally talking, he's saying he's sick of hearing the trade talk of Micah in the same way we heard it about CeeDee Lamb last year. CeeDee's like, can we just win big games? Can we make that the focus instead of the mindless minutia or the fake shit that's made up, or the creation of drama that's created by the Joneses by not, because they don't do their effing job. Because that's what it all boils down to. The Eagles go through and they get the best available. They try to make the best decisions possible. Does it work every time? No. But it doesn't stop them from continuing to constantly try and get better. DeAndre Swift last year was better than the running backs we had in Dallas. And the Eagles said, that's not good enough. What can we do to be better? Instead of just saying the status quo. They said, let's go out and get Saquon because he's an even better back than DeAndre Swift. And Swift ended up being better than Miles Sanders. That the progression is, how can we get stronger in each and every position? The Cowboys, hey, we don't want to spend a whole lot of money for this muffler. And that's what hurts the most. Eagles, congratulations. You deserved it this year. You deserved it. And ain't shit I can say. I can't trash you. We're not anywhere close to being on the level of the Eagles in what they do as far as building a roster. And if I hear Stephen Jones say that, what the Eagles are doing is not sustainable, you know what? If you could give me a Super Bowl and then you're going to tell me that we're going to have a few years that are down, I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'd be okay with that. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. So, good night, good people. Remember, tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I definitely love you guys. I appreciate y'all being here this season, going through the ups and downs of everything that is the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys. And the work is just beginning. Peace.